Hey, what's happening? I'm out for hopefully half a day long hike out at St. Francis. It's down along the St. Johns River in central Florida. Temperatures are great today, high in the upper 60s, maybe low 70s, with a low tonight, maybe down into the upper 50s. It's been raining, although the forecast says 0%. It's been raining, and the mosquitoes are out horrendously. Luckily, I've got a head net in there, which I will probably break out, because it will probably be worse in there. So we will see. Hopefully it's not too muddy. It doesn't seem too bad right now, although everything's wet, but we haven't had a lot of rain recently. So we will get on the trail. So, off in the distance, there's been bunches of gunshots. It's one of the main reasons why I went with this pack, because it's got so much orange all over it. Man, these bugs are horrendous. And hunters are all over Florida. And whether or not they're sticking to the guidelines of where and when they should hunt with what is, kind of up for debate, or really not debatable, but we owe the ability to have a lot of these lands to the hunters, because if it wasn't for them and the hunting lobby, then representatives wouldn't section off these state parks and areas for wildlife management. So I was hoping to catch them on camera popping off shots, because they are going off left and right. Boom, 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 boom. But this area is going to have, since I'm in the southern tip of Ocala, this area is going to have black bears. It's also going to have hogs. Lots of hogs. Wild hogs all over Florida. Come hunt your hogs if you want some hogs. Bunches of them. I think part of the key to keeping the mosquitoes off is just keeping moving. As the moment you stop, they are hovering all around. Now, I haven't felt any bites. I loaded up on Picard and just slathered it on my face and hands, anything that was exposed, neck, and I haven't felt any bites thus far, so that's a good thing. We'll see how this goes here. Definitely tell you that this trail would be pretty rough to do in peak rain season. And now it's December. And so it hasn't rained as much, although it's been raining today. They've put down, you can see the volunteers have put down these mats in a lot of the very bad areas, although it's not terrible today. It definitely could be. If you want a cool factoid about Florida, you're hiking down here, these big palmettos are really loud. You can have very small animals rummaging in the forest. Possums, armadillos, small things, and they love hitting these things and making a ton of racket. So you can be in a completely mundane place and it sounds like a grizzly bear is coming through the forest to kill you, but it's all because just tapping these things, and they hit these things all night long. And they make noise. Rained on myself. So it gets really loud at night sometimes, depending upon where you're at. some pretty canopies out here. All these old oaks on everywhere. This area used to be a very bustling area. It was kind of a boom town back in the 1800s during the steamboat era, where the steamboats would go up and down the St. Johns River carrying goods to Jacksonville, down south a little ways, but it was the primary way. And then St. Francis, this little area we're in, was the primary town for all the porting of the steamboats. But then when Jacksonville built the railway, or CSX built a railway, or somebody built a railroad between Jacksonville and down south and up north, killed the steamboat industry, and the town became a ghost town, and now there's nothing left of it to my knowledge. Oh, this is wet. Well, I knew that was going to happen sooner or later, so. But all back in here used to be houses and roads and commerce. People buying and selling, coming and visiting relatives. And within just 100 years, this is what it looks like. I'm using my trekking pole to spin around like this to knock all the spider webs down. And every time I stop doing it for a moment to look around, I walk right through a spider web. Every time. I can't even see them. But definitely walk through them. There's definitely those big old, we called them banana spiders as kid, because they are gnarly looking things. And they love to build big webs across these trails. I haven't seen one of those yet. But something to keep in mind if you're down here, rummaging around, just keep your trekking pole spinning. Keep on spinning, keep on spinning, spinning, spinning. Spinning, spinning. It's the moment you don't, spider in the face. I feel like my shoe's kind of cutting into my ankle a little bit. I'd like to stave that off. Looks okay for the most part, but I'm gonna double bandage that up. Now we've definitely transitioned into some different types of vegetation. And this is one of the reasons why going like bushwhacking in Florida off trail is so difficult. If not impossible. It's not impossible, but not without the right tools. That stuff is so thick. You'd need a machete and some seriously heavy clothing on to avoid And probably the snakes and everything else you're going to come across in there. It's buried in there. And you don't get much of a view of anything because it's just brush coming over amidst all the tall pines that are out here. But at my height, I don't see over it, so you'd have to be 7 feet tall. But it's nice to get out. I'm under the oak canopy I've been in for quite a while. Hopefully things will dry out just a touch. I just crossed over Deland's bridge. That bridge is pretty cool. It's nice that they put that there. Some telephone poles. It does bounce. That's why I didn't record when I was on it, because it, while it's stable, it's your footing's not super good, and because it's got steel cordage or steel rope there, or cables, as the hand guards, they give. So you're bouncing and you're giving, and trying to hold a camera and trekking pole and stuff during that would have been no good. But cool. It's a nice water source right here at Deland's bridge. You could definitely stop and grab water here. It's flowing really good. Looks fairly brown. I shouldn't say all water's brown, because you get near the springs or at a spring area or where it's coming up from the spring, and that's clear and very good. Very tasty. I would still filter it though. You don't know what's in it, and people do dive the caves, so they probably pee in it. Always filter the water. Outside of the spider webs, this trail's kind of what you want out of Florida. I think when people think of coming and hiking to Florida, they think of these palms and maybe some beach scenes and rivers and some of that southern flair. And the winter months are definitely a good time to come down and experience that if you want to do some Florida trails. You're not going to have any altitude changes. You know, there's no climbs. Hill or two every now and then, nothing at all. But coming down in the summer would be a mistake. Way too hot and humid to be enjoyable. But in the winter, a little drier, a little less rain. Trails are easier to navigate. Little maintenance has had time to be done. And yeah. But this one, the St. Francis Loop, is a great trail to get out and experience some of, you know, the ecology that the area has to offer. See some of the plants. Yeah, I would encourage it. I like this trail. So the trail's turned into like a 3-path road in a swamp, headed down to the St. Johns River, where I think I'll take a break, eat a snack bar. Still got 4 or 5 miles to go easily, but I got a lot of time. I'm not in a hurry. It's time to enjoy it. Looks like this is a camping spot up here too, or at least somebody's set a fire up here. It's pretty nice. I'll show you the view here. Well, my Catadine filter's not liking this water. It is not wanting to filter with any flow. Come on, Missy. Getting a little bit there. I don't know if you can see all the... Really need to pre-filter this water. And I probably will next time. I'll utilize a get a bandana or something just to keep the grit out of the filter. So there's this massive oak right here, which is really cool. And I'm not really using a trail map or anything. This thing makes a loop, so maybe I would have been better informed, but it sounds like there's a running water source right over this way we're gonna go check out. So there's a running water right here. And then off in the distance, it looks like there's tubs. I don't know what they have in them, maybe water cached. Not sure, I'm not gonna go bushwhacking over that way just to find out. But I'm definitely going to put this water in my water filter. That water looks nice and clean. Oh, these mosquitoes are driving me crazy. Oh. Not the best in the world. Not the worst either. This is one of the downsides to this pack. I cannot reach the pocket. Oh. On about a quarter mile, maybe half mile road walk till I catch up with the trail again. Start heading back south. Everything I touch on my hat, my sunglasses, everything just covers me in spider's webs. I've gone through so many. Ah shit, there's a hunter out here. There's the dogs. I didn't even know you could hunt out here. Well, that's fucking scary. That's why you wear orange in Florida. So no matter how mundane the trail, there's somebody hunting near you. It's scary. And you know, maybe that's the shots I was hearing earlier on, coming from that guy shooting guns. But oh well. Hopefully it gets something, but not a person. Always wear orange, in Florida at least. Always, always, always. I just passed two sets of people. Haven't seen anybody all day long. But in the last 5 minutes, two groups. And it's starting to sprinkle. But I just realized too that in my car I have a pair of shorts and flip-flops. So it'll be All casual tonight. No bread bags on the feet. Although my feet aren't that wet. But yeah. Should be pretty, sorry. Should be pretty nice. I didn't bring an extra shirt, but hey, yeah, do what you gotta do. We are back on the connector trail. So we're headed back. I don't know how much further we got, maybe a half a mile or so. And then we'll make some choices on camp for the night. Yay. All right, well, made it back to the parking lot. And gonna figure out my game plan for camping. There's a group camp spot. I saw some RVs and so forth. It's not very exciting, but it's possible I might be able to make it back to some of these other spots I saw along the way. It would be a little difficult at this time, but I don't know, maybe it'll be group camp spot. We'll see. And since I still got a little time, and if I'm going to decide to go to the group camp, I can also decide to go back over the river and grab a burger at the bar and grill and then hang out. So if I don't talk to you some more, that's what happened. But if I bring you back, which I hope to, we'll set up camp. And I don't know what I'm going to set up camp for. I brought a couple different setups. I brought a hammock, brought tarp and bivvy, brought a tent. Just see what I felt like. All right. Okay, so I couldn't stay at that group camp. You had to have reservations to be there, and it didn't look like there was anybody else there. So I'm going to the St. John's Grill. Gonna have a burger and a beer. Think of what my next move's gonna be. I don't know. So I'm at the bar. Cheers. Cheers. Probably gonna head home. I don't know if you can hear me. I'll talk later. But just know I'm enjoying